Man, sometimes you take some of your how do we call them, co-authors of your songs, like the one
Hmm.
that gave the speech.
Hmm.
Some of those guys, they were not that famous when they were alive, and now you are make them famous. Like, for example, Terence McKenna. He's not like the most popular guy in the world. He's one of the most genius guys ever born in human history. But he's not like, for example, a Carl Sagan or I don't know, Bill Gates kind of in popularity, right? But you, like 30 or 40, 50, 60 years later, you are making him evergreen because he made the speech, but now with your music, you are making that speech forever, perennial, like never out of fashion. And like Friedrich Nietzsche said, some people are born after they die. Some people are born after they die. And you are doing that also with some of these folks that were geniuses, and you are expressing their genius in a new way. And so I think that with our art, like, yeah, we are alive right now, but we are not thinking. When we are long gone, like Marcus Aurelius used to say, no one will remember about you. I don't know, man, because if an Akira takes your son and make like a emergent art with your own art, it's like forever, like your spirit, your pattern, your germ is forever manipulating reality in a more beautiful and a more good way. I don't know.
It's
That's my
ironic,
thoughts
right?
about it.
Isn't it ironic that Marcus Aurelius wrote all that stuff about how no one's going to remember you after you're dead?
Right, right,
Two
yeah.
thousand years later, fucking Marcus Aurelius has still got the most fire Twitter account on Earth. You know what I mean? It's hilarious. But you know, he was right to an extent that like pretty much everyone that he hung out with, like no one knows who they are. But him, and
Right.
the reason you know him is because he expressed that most authentic aspect of himself and wrote that shit down and just wrote it true and pure. It wasn't even necessarily for it wasn't for public consumption. You know what I mean? He's like, these
Right,
are my notes
exactly.
to
It's
myself.
pure.
So it was a pure and authentic and truthful reflection of that which he believed to be the case. And it was therefore useful for fucking thousands of years. It continues to be. And no, God knows how far it will go. Who knows how far that expression will go? Because it's true, right? That's why I don't worry about propaganda. That's why I don't spend my time being upset about fucking Disney Star Wars or whatever the fuck. Because it's like, that shit will not last very long. Propaganda does not last very long. People hang on to that which is true. That which is true is that which resonates. And the other stuff just collapses very, very quickly and evaporates very quickly. Therefore, it is not the best use of one's time to be concerned with that. You are better off engaging in the creation and expression of that which is true on a mythopoetic, archetypal, fucking intergenerational manner. Shit that is going to be useful across space and time. Right? Don't waste your time bitching about what the fuck they've done to Doctor Who this week. Like, you know, go make your expression of that truth or whatever it is, right? Or be involved in that, or find what that is and champion that. And you know, what's the other thing? Yeah, well, this is why everything I do musically, I strive for it to be useful across space and time. So a lot of time people would be like, Akira the Don, you know, in 2017, they were like, hey, do Trump Wave or whatever the fuck, or do whatever political thing was fucking hot that week. I've never been interested in any of that stuff. I'm not interested in things that are of note right now
Pop
that will
culture
not be
or
of.
mainstream.
Yeah, it's like, will this be useful in 5 years? Will this be useful in 10 years? Will this be useful in 50 years? The only stuff I edit out of music, like when I'm making the Scott Adams records, I'll remove any references to like contemporary political events because that shit will date it. You know what I mean? That shit will make it unuseful across fucking time because people will hear it and they'll associate with whatever was that moment was, and they won't see the grand import of it.
Right.
It's very rare.
Yeah, Carl
One of
Jung
the
used to
only.
talk about the spirit of the times versus the spirit of the depth. And the spirit of the depth is what you are saying, like that eternal pattern, that truth, that thing that when you hear, you said God, or you say I am, like, or you
Mhm.
say, they I don't know if you know this, but the sound of creation is like, oh, because when you have an organ, you do like, oh, and a lot of animals do that kind of. Have
Yeah.
you ever tried that
Oh, see, when you have
meditation
a good
before?
idea, when you have a good idea,
Right. Oh,
it's this. Yes. Ah. Or like you
right.
fucking get a really good squat going on at the gym or whatever, right? It's the same fucking thing. That's like, that
All
was a
right,
thing
so I
that I
have a.
realized.
What do you realize before
Oh
I
no,
continue
just
to the
that
final
was a
question?
thing I realized in going to the gym when I got into lifting weights. Is there's a moment if you get when you finally get are able to squat, and you pick up a heavy fucking thing, and you go down, and you go to that place from which there is no returning if you do not have the strength to return, the place where you could fuck
Right.
up. Time slows down, and that's that moment. That's that That is the moment of fucking awareness of creation of everything. God is to be found there. The deeper the squat, the deeper the thoughts, the deeper connection with the Lord. Shit is real out here. So yeah, you're correct on
Amen,
that, bro.
man. Nice.